What's up, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's the first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Sorry about that. I had to fix my camera. But listen, guys, happy Monday to you. And it's some surprising news out of Florida. Well, surprising to some of us. Larry Nassar, who was the doctor, he was the Team USA doctor for the Olympics, I think. And Michigan State doctor too, for the University of Michigan State. This guy right here got sentenced, I think it was 2018. A lot of you guys remember him. He was the one that was inappropriately touching and penetrating some of these gymnastic girls. And he was sentenced to, I think, 40 to 175 years. I can't remember what the particular number was, but it doesn't matter. He's made news today because in USP Coleman, United States Penitentiary Coleman in Florida, this man was just stabbed over 10 times. Well, 10 times to be exact. Now, I'm going to play this press clipping. We're going to come back and talk about this. Check it out.
We start this half hour in Florida, where the former doctor for USA Gymnastics, Larry Nassar, was stabbed multiple times in a federal prison.
Nassar is serving decades in prison for sexually assaulting several athletes. You will remember this, including Olympic gold medalists. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park joins us now with the latest on this. Kathy, what do we know? I know we may not know much so far, but what do we know about this incident in jail or in prison?
Hey, Kate, Morgan, good afternoon to both of you. Yeah, as you mentioned, Kate, there is a lot that we don't know at this hour, but according to a prison union leader who confirmed some information to NBC News, we know that the incident took place over the weekend, Sunday specifically, and it was some sort of altercation that quickly escalated and turned violent, and Larry Nassar was stabbed multiple times, twice in the neck, twice in the back, 6 times in the chest, and also suffered a lung collapse. And right now, that pretty much is all that we know. It's still unclear how this all unfolded, what prompted this altercation, and exactly the timeline of how this all played out as well, and why perhaps it took as long as it did to get officials to interfere and stop this altercation. Kate?
And give us a sense at this point, Kathy. Larry Nassar is serving up to 175 years in prison for both state and federal convictions. What's the latest on his condition at this point?
So, Morgan, right now, based on the information that we are receiving, he is currently in stable condition at this hour. So that's kind of all we are working off of. Obviously, we have a lot of phone calls in to the Bureau of Prisons to get a little bit more information. We also are leaning on our resources on the ground there in Florida. But right now, he is in stable condition. Morgan?
All right.
Hey guys, that was the video clip. And some of you might be asking, he was convicted in 2018. A lot of you guys might be saying, it's 2023. What took so long with him getting stabbed up? Let me explain something to you real quick. I did not know, because I really didn't I kept up with like the surface of this, but I didn't know how in-depth and crazy this man was. This man should have not had prison time. He should have been put down immediately after trial. And I'm explaining why. Do you know this guy touched and violated over 300 gymnasts, a couple of which supposedly were men, were boys, males. They said this man touched young women inappropriately and oftentimes penetrated them. And he did this sometimes in front of people that were watching, like, like nurses and stuff. And they was like, hey, Larry, what you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? I mean, to an extent, some of the stuff he did, supposedly. In the description box below, I put an interview where they've been on him for a while, right? And I guess his status of who he was as a doctor and his importance kind of protected him. They got this guy, and in the description box, you'll see this interview. It's a 4-minute video where this guy tries to blame the victims for his out of control appetite for doing crazy stuff with other victims. Think about it. In the interview, this man said, and I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis of the whole thing. He says, if they felt uncomfortable, they should have said something. It would have controlled me, because it's like I can't control myself. This guy's an idiot. This guy's crazy. They said he was stabbed twice in the neck, twice in the back, and 6 times in the chest. The way I'm looking at it, looking at his weak frame and how this went down, I'm thinking he was stabbed in the neck. He was stabbed in the back when he tried to run. He fell, turned over. The guy got on top of him, hit him 6 times and collapsed his lung. That's just my opinion from being in jail and seeing how people be when they had that thing on them and they stab you up. Now, supposedly this all happened over an altercation. Now, going back to what I said in the beginning, he had been in jail 5 years, well, over 5 years, and he's been in the USP for some time now. And I'm gonna tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, if you have never been locked up or in federal custody, nobody wants to go to the US penitentiary. That's the highest level, and it's no joke in there. I mean, the worst of the worst is in there, and anybody can get it. Seriously. Everybody in there has crazy, outrageous crimes. They send this guy, Larry Nassar, in there with the dumb crime he got, nonviolent crime. You would think he would be a victim sooner than later. But I'm going to tell you something. The reason why people like this can fly under the radar is this. In any type of jail, especially when you get incarcerated, you start getting locked up, you start to get used to your surroundings. I should have turned my phone off. You get used to your surroundings. Then you learn how to move. And when I say move, it's like you know who to avoid, who to avoid. A lot of times in jail, people with the same crime will usually connect with each other and hang around each other. I've seen that when I was in the feds. A lot of people that had child crimes and stuff like that, they all huddle and rally around each other. They don't own community. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why they do that is because they all know the dirty secrets everybody else knows, so they don't deal with certain people that their paperwork might have to be presented, or they might be in question because of the way they act. A lot of times people like this are oddballs. When you look at this video in the description box, I'm going to show you, you'll see he's a little bit off or strange. All in all, one inmate had it out for him over an altercation. Regardless of what the altercation was, he got stabbed up. My thing is, even with this happening to him, I wonder how all of those victims feel about hearing the news about this. Because, you know, a lot of people wanted closure from this. A lot of people were violated, felt violated. Hell, you remember when he was in court, some of the fathers tried to fight him. And rightly so. You know, I have no mercy for him. I mean, I don't feel anything for him because this went on for years. And you know, this type of crime, this type of person, they get stronger and stronger when things don't come to oppose them. You know, longer they go, they get emboldened. And if they get in trouble in one facet, they'll alter their actions to try to cover it up and go in another avenue, still trying to achieve the goal of their own twisted sexual satisfaction. He lived. We'll see. Said he's in critical condition or stable condition. Things can still happen. Do I wish death on anybody? No. But the bottom line is this. Life is about cause and effect. Doing this causes that. Now, I don't know what the altercation was about, but I mean, karma's a bitch. And this is just karma coming back at him. Leave me a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think. As always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm Stock Mark Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. See you in the next video. Take care.